I've been asked to comment on a very controversial topic that is really prevalent in the news today. I want to warn you, if you have children that you like to watch these videos with, this is not a topic that's going to be appropriate for them. So I want to give you time to make sure that you're warned on that. So the topic is that there's a family in Indiana, I believe it is, that owns a pizza parlor, and they have said that they are not willing to cater a wedding for a gay couple. They're a Christian family, and this goes against their belief system. And they are being castigated in the media by the left. They are being hundreds of thousands of dollars of donations are coming in from the right to support them, and it's a tough place to be. And I don't think that they ever intended on being in this limelight, but what it is, you know, those people that are big advocates on the right and on the left have made them the battleground, made them the battleground for this big controversial issue. So I want to warn you that I don't have the answer what the right thing to do is here, and I want also to warn you that I'm coming from a Christian perspective and not from the perspective of the left. But I want to be fair. So what's the truth? How do we get past all of the hype and all the nonsense? What do we do if we find ourselves in a situation like that? There's a saying that's been really popular for a long time, and I really dislike it. And the saying is, "What would Jesus do?" I don't like it because it's presuming that we can put ourselves in the mind of Christ in situations that were never addressed in the scriptures. And I don't think that we have the right to do that. What we can say, what we can do, is what did Jesus say and what did Jesus do? There's a lot of mistakes being made on both sides about this issue. One thing that really bothered me was that the left, they went on and they really crucified this family by leaving negative restaurant reviews on their pizza parlor, death threats, hatred, all of these things. And it seems kind of ironic because they claim to be the people of tolerance. And that tolerance only goes so far if you agree with them. That is not the definition of tolerance. Tolerance is having a neighbor that has very different beliefs than you, but respecting him enough to let him do that. Not to go in and to make up and to lie about his business and to leave false restaurant reports of a place that you've never been. That's not right. So, where are we with this? What do we have? Do we have any scriptural examples on what a Christian needs to do in a situation like this, if you're asked to cater this wedding? Well, the only thing that comes to mind is there's a story in the scriptures of the chief of tax collectors. His name was Zacchaeus. For those of you who are maybe not familiar with the story, don't know the scriptures, Jerusalem at the time of Christ was under subjection to Rome. And Rome had put many Jews that were basically considered turncoats, had given them the job to collect taxes for the Roman Empire. The problem with these tax collectors, publicans or sinners as the people called them, was that they often collected more than they were supposed to. Not only did they collect the levies and the taxes for the Roman government, but they extracted more from the people and enriched themselves, and they became very wealthy. And therefore they were outcasts of society, and they were very much maligned and hated. So we have the chief of tax collectors. He's the head guy in Jerusalem. Wants to know about Christ. And the Bible tells us that he's of short stature, and he climbs up at a sycamore tree, hoping to catch a glimpse of Christ. As Christ comes through, he calls Zacchaeus out by name. Zacchaeus, I will be staying at your place tonight. I'm going to paraphrase here. I'll be having dinner with you. And he goes in, and the story goes that Zacchaeus held a banquet. Christ was the guest of honor and ate in this man's home. Well, the Christian leader, or the Jewish leaders at the time, and the people thought, who is this guy claiming to be the Son of God? And here he is eating with tax collectors, publicans, and sinners? What type of a man is this? So the thing is that's so interesting is that Jesus invited himself into a situation, into a group of people that were very much contrary to the belief system or the gospel in itself. He invited himself Did he go there and point his finger at Zacchaeus and say, what you're doing is wrong? Did he hold up big cardboard signs or wear a sandwich board that said sinners will burn in hell? There's no record of any of that. But Zacchaeus was completely convicted. He was convicted that what he had done was wrong, and he even agreed not only to pay back all of the loss, all of that money that he may have defrauded people from, but to pay it back fourfold. It really, in extreme measure, really shows the level of his conversion. So Christ interjected himself into a situation that was very contrary to his teaching, didn't preach to him, didn't lecture to him, didn't talk down to him, but the example that he led, his character and his kindness and his willingness to accept and to be patient with this man is what moved him and moved him to change. Now, how does this really apply to this pizza parlor thing? I don't know. That's the closest thing I can come at. So I just want to be careful before we start pointing fingers and singling out homosexuals as being the king of sinners or the chief of sinners. Christ tells us very clearly, if you're guilty of one, you're guilty of all. So it's so easy for us to point the finger at the obvious, at the homosexual, and saying that person is going to burn in hell. But how many of us have had kids who are living in sin, maybe cohabiting together, not married? Are they welcome in your home? Do you invite them over for Sunday dinner? Do you regularly just kind of look beyond the things that they do? You know, so we got to be careful with these things, and it's so easy to point out this person is doing something wrong, but give a license to this because we've considered it to be a sin that's not as great as another. And we have no business doing that whatsoever. You know, the thing, on the flip side, we have the right, which is donating, last I heard was over $800,000 to help this family, I don't know, reestablish their restaurant or pay for legal fees or whatever it is. And as far as that goes, to me, it seems like it's too little too late. You know, the generation that is being raised right now that will be coming in to important decision-making positions, who will be making future policy for our country at the state and the federal level, they don't feel the same way about homosexuality being a sin or not being. They just have accepted it. Christian, non-Christian families who have dumped their kids into the public school system, the federal indoctrination system, state indoctrination system, not all of them, but many of them, have groomed these kids from the first grade to kindergarten, even in preschool, that this is perfectly fine. This is perfectly fine, perfectly fine. So writing legislation now to say that we're not going to serve homosexuals, or we're not going to accept this, or we're going to try to head this off legally, head this off at the policy making level, that the barn's open and the animals are gone. You're fighting a dying battle, because the generation coming up, they don't see it the same way, and there's no way that they are going to look at this issue the way we do today. I don't know. I don't know I don't have an answer for all of this. I don't have, say, you know, which is right and which is wrong. I see the left and the right both making mistakes on this. But the thing that I think that really rankles us, I'll close with this because I'm not making any sense. What really rankles with us, if you're watching and you're on the left, or if you're homosexual, or just opposite of the Christian, it's not that we have issues with homosexuals. God loves you as well as anyone else. Your sin is just as grievous as our sin. It makes no difference. I don't look down upon you whatsoever. Do I agree with the lifestyle? No, but it's my right. It's my right to do that. The thing that really rankles with us is that Christian family has a pizza parlor. Maybe they have young kids that are working, bussing tables. Maybe it's a family-run business. They haven't had that conversation yet. Maybe that is a difficult thing for them for that small family to come and to see what takes place at a gay wedding, to see the affection of woman towards woman or man towards man. when they haven't had that discussion with their kids, and maybe their kids are not old enough yet. That's what you need to be sympathetic about, instead of just pushing your agenda and saying, I don't care what you think, it's my right, it's my right, it's my right. It may be your right, and it looks like that's the trend of the country, but it's not your right. But you should have a little bit of class and not intentionally try to offend someone that is offended by that. We don't have to agree. We just have to be respectful towards one another. And the thing that I despise the most is this. I'm trying to get to this point. If you flip that around, if you have a gay couple that owns a pizza parlor and a Christian couple comes and says, we would like you to cater our Christian wedding because we really like your pizza, and the gay couple says, no, your belief system is offensive to us, we will not cater it. That's where it ends. No one's going to be fined. No one is going to lose their business and their livelihood and their reputation. Maybe their family. No, nothing. So that's the problem that we have, because what it comes down to is it's simply unfair. That is unfair. For you to stand up and to say, I want my rights and I'm going to force you against your will to come and do something that you disbelieve in, is that really what you want to do? Is that really the person that you want to be? Is that helping anyone? Is it helping our country? No. So that is to try, just so you can understand the perspective where we're coming from, that is what is so offensive. That is what's so repugnant about the whole thing. Not that we're pointing you out and saying what you're doing is worse than any sin any man has ever created. I'm not going to say that. There are people that will. I can't speak for them. I can only speak for myself. All I can say is that show some class. Let's respect one another for our beliefs, and just be kind to one another. I deal with this on a daily basis. Hatred, death threats, all types of vindictive nastiness, because people are comfortable with the videos, they're comfortable with watching, providing I agree with them. Providing I do the type of videos or I say the type of things that are in alignment with their current belief system. Think about that before you comment and say that. I don't come to your house, I don't come to your videos and malign you and tell you how you should be making videos and what you should be believing. I watch videos with people that I don't believe, I don't have a lot in agreement with, but I appreciate what they're doing, and I can focus on that and not focus on the bad. So I don't know. My opinion on this is nothing more than that. I don't have any insight, or there's no reason why I think that I should be up here teaching anyone anything. I'm just talking about trying to find what the truth is, trying to find what the common ground is on this, and start a discussion on it. Maybe get you thinking about it and thinking logically. That's all I can really do. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next video.